Hello, Aquarius. Thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive Oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Dory Virtue and Radley Valentine. Alright. Already shuffled. Let's see what we got here. Okay. That's interesting. Well, let's see how this plays out. Okay. So, alright, I feel like this is interesting. We'll find out how this is going, but Aquarius, okay, you're holding your tongue here, aren't you? Okay. Holding your tongue. You're holding your tongue in the beginning of this situation. You were holding back. You're definitely holding back is what I'm getting here. You have the Two of Swords, which is usually a stalemate. I get that. Which maybe that's how this feels for you, but you're just, I feel like you're not saying what you're thinking. You're kind of holding back. You're not saying, like, you might be a little bit more playful or contrary to some opinions just to see what else is going on, but I feel like you're holding back for whatever reason. It seems like the other side, you're thinking, is not going to be that conducive, or it could just cause a problematic argument. You're not against arguing, but it's just one of those things where you're feeling, you know what, it's just going to throw things off and it's not going to really be worth it. It's just going to be a problem rather than sport. Because I'm getting like you have no problem with arguments, but it's more about constructive, bringing something forward, finding out hidden information, but it doesn't seem like that serves a purpose in this situation, not at this time. So I feel, again, you're holding back. Because the reason I think I'm feeling you're holding back is because I think you want to. You wanted to just like play around a little bit, get some little fun arguments starting just to find out, contrary to what's being said, what somebody might be feeling. Like, they might be saying one thing, but what are they actually feeling? You're kind of wondering one of those things. So you want to like throw in there what's going on and just, but you're holding back. You're not doing that. Is there anything else with that? All right, we're going to leave that. I think I'm just trying to dig deeper and just see if there's something else, or like, is there a reason you're holding back? They're like, no, you just, things are fine the way they are. To do that at this point just would not be beneficial to you or anybody else. Now, what I'm getting here in the center is you got the Sun card with the Knight of Cups. I'm getting things are going pretty well. Pretty well with you and whoever you're dealing with. For some of you, it's a group of people. Like, everybody seems to be getting along quite well. It's kind of like best foot forward. Everybody's looking out for each other. People are working together. It's like it's really, everything is working as optimally as, actually I feel like everything is working optimally, at least at this moment. At this moment, it seems like everything is working very well. But I'm getting that Knight of Cups working with the Sun card. I'm getting the Knight of Cups is saying, like, people are working with each other. People are, like, you know, going out of their way for each other, that type of thing. That's what I'm getting. And I feel like that's kind of, like, accentuating this Sun energy. Like, everybody's just getting along and really, like, not only are they being good to you, but they're being good to each other. Everybody just seems to be right on the same page and doing, like, it's, for the moment, it seems very utopian. Like, unexpected, like, is this real? Somebody should pinch me because I can't believe this is real. Everybody's really getting along. Because, like, I'm getting in this situation, you're looking at it from the outside, like, those people don't even get along and they're being really nice to each other. Like, it seems a little bit, like, Twilight Zone-like to me, from what I'm catching here. Which is another reason why you're not questioning. You're just like, you know what? People are getting along. People are getting along who don't usually get along. I'm not going to be the one who throws a wrench into that. I feel like that's how you're looking at it. Like, I'm not going to be the one who throws a wrench into that. They're getting along and they don't usually. That's fine. I'm just going to shut my mouth and just go along with it. It's okay, because I feel like part of you is like, oh, that this has a time limit. This isn't going to last. But as long as it does last, might as well enjoy it, and I'm not going to be the one who breaks it. Not me. Nope. Um, which makes complete sense now why you're holding back. You're like, I'm not going to be the one who throws a wrench into this. It's going too well. I'm not going to be to blame for that. Nope. Now, I'm getting this situation. People seem to be getting along. People who don't usually get along are getting along. And I'm getting on the other side, the Eight of Swords. I'm getting people are feeling like there's pressure to continue to get along. It seems like a lot of people have this opinion, like they don't want to be the one who causes things to fall apart. So it's almost like a challenge who can keep it going the longest. That's weird. I wonder what's inspiring that. That's kind of interesting. Like, I know these are general reads, but that seems very weird to me. Like, people who don't usually get along are getting along. You don't want to be the one who causes any type of problem with that because you don't want to be, like, blamed for the destruction of it. Other people are also looking in from the outside, or maybe looking at people they don't usually get along with, and they don't want to be the one who starts the problem. I feel like the situation is a little bit interesting. Like, people seem to be working together for the common good, and nobody wants to be accused of being a troublemaker, or the problem starter. Interesting. And I'm getting, as it keeps going forward, the Justice card is here. The Justice card is here, and it's telling me things work out very well. Better than expected. Now, what happens after the Judgment card? I'm getting, like, the Judgment card seems to be, like, people kind of trying to separate from each other, or trying to not have to deal with each other as much. I feel like some people are feeling very run down with keeping up with getting along with people they don't really like. And I'm getting that the no card pops up after it because they don't want to be a part of the situation anymore. It's becoming too stressful because they're choking down their own feelings to get along with somebody else that they really don't care for. And it's becoming very draining. And I also feel like you're also having that feeling. Like, the situation, everything's going well, but it's becoming such a chore just to hold back your own feelings and not really talk as freely as you would like to. It feels kind of stressful to me in the sense of, like, well, it's a Ten of Wands, and I get that that's a lot of burdens, but it's like heavy energy. Like, everybody's trying to get along. Nobody wants to be the one who causes any type of problem. Tensions are starting to build, though. And I feel like that's the big thing. People just want to get away from each other because they don't want to be the one who starts any type of drama, any type of problem. And I'm getting the no here is like people just don't want to deal with each other. They're trying not to talk to each other. They're trying to cut down how much they deal with each other. I feel like you're seeing this as well, and you're also having that same situation where there are people you don't want to deal with anymore. And I feel like you're just... Every time I pick up this card, it's got heavy energy on it, which makes me feel like you're feeling a lot of pressure to not... Like, you're feeling a lot of pressure to keep to yourself and not say something that could cause an argument. But it's also, like, very draining because it's not natural for you to hold back like this. And it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good, and you don't like it. And I'm getting, like, people are starting to, like, break off in separate groups, or, like, starting to, like, work separately. I feel like the people who naturally get along are starting to gravitate with themselves. And if people who, like, for example, that you could talk with and be a little bit more contrary with opinion, or a little bit more sparring with your conversation, you're gravitating with people who can handle that and who actually enjoy it, or who will spar with you back verbally. It's not like it's a vicious fight. It's just kind of like a playful, what are you really thinking? What do you think about this? What about this? What about that? It's not a bad thing. So I feel like smaller groups are starting to develop from this larger group somehow. And I get the compromise. Like, people are just kind of trying to find different ways to work with people. This is also that trying to separate themselves from people that they don't naturally get along with, trying to gravitate towards people who can more handle their normal disposition, so they can be themselves more. So they're just kind of staying away from the people who can't handle them the way they are. They're gravitating towards the people who can. And I feel like everybody in this situation seems to be doing that to some effect. This is what you're looking for. This is, this, yes, with the explanation especially, like you're finding a way to talk about things, to vent through things, to bring things forward that you want to talk about, something you've seen that you didn't like, you want to talk about this with somebody, you're finding somebody you can confide in that will just keep it between you and them, maybe you and a couple people, if you feel strongly enough that you can trust this group of people, just to keep it between you, that way it doesn't cause any more problems. Because I feel like I'm getting that heavy energy is kind of releasing here, right here. Because you're talking to somebody who you can say exactly how you feel, you can bounce your feelings off of someone else without causing any type of discord, which is very important to you at this point. Because I'm getting at the end here, you got the Six of Cups, which means everybody seems to be working towards a common goal. Like, I feel like everybody's working together to make something work out. And I feel like you're doing your part along with everybody else to make that happen. And it's just about what you're allowed to say in front of certain people as opposed to others. They are telling me, though, not to make light of this. Like, I get that you can't completely segregate yourself from these elements, but I get that the way you're venting to certain people that you feel more comfortable with, I'm getting that is... It's making it more bearable, and you're okay in the long run, as long as you find that outlet. Because it's for a common goal, like for a common good, I should say. So, and it does seem to work out. It's just like everybody seems to be holding back what they're feeling. Then it's almost like a time bomb until people start to, like, pull away from each other, pull away from the people that they can't really stand for whatever reason, and try to gravitate towards other people that they do get along with well, so they can vent it out a little bit about what they're feeling. It seems like everybody seems to be doing this. And it does work out. And I'm getting the situation continues, and there's more positive. I feel like as it keeps going farther and farther, though, it's not as ridiculously chummy as it was back here at the Sun with the Knight of Cups. Like, here it seems like it's a little bit ridiculous. It's so happy, joy going on here. Everybody's so happy to work with each other. Not that that's bad, but I just feel like it's just kind of out of focus with reality here. It's just like everybody's just like acting like nothing bothers them. Everything's okay. We all get along so well. And it's not really the truth. They're just trying to get along with each other so much. And it goes for a little while like that, but as time goes on, I feel like people are more... They're still getting along, but it's just like... I don't feel like it's as tightly knit as it was back in the beginning. I feel like people are more sparse, and they're trying not to deal with each other as much as they did at this point, if that makes sense. It's still going well, but it's just like... I don't feel like people are trying to act like they like each other as much when they don't really, if that makes sense. And I feel like you're doing your part to make sure this all works out. You're doing very well. I just feel like there's a lot of stress with it, because I feel like it's hard for you to be who you want to be. You seem to have to choke down your thoughts a lot. It's rough. Only because you would be more free with conversation. You like to talk about certain things. But with certain people, you know that they just can't handle that. They just take it the wrong way every time, and it blows up into a big mess. So you have to like hold back and just keep yourself segregated from them, or just not say certain things around them because you know they can't handle it. Anything else? Alright, they're telling me I hit it, whatever it was they needed to say. So I feel like it's going to work out. Maybe you're questioning if it's going to. I'm not sure. But it does, the segregating into groups, I feel like that could happen sooner rather than later. I don't feel like it changes the outcome. Maybe that's the whole point of this. Like, even if this is just an hour, and then you guys start to segregate off into your own groups to people you get along with rather than people you don't really get along with, that's not a bad thing. I don't feel like it changes the outcome or the positive effect this situation is having. This doesn't have to linger on for more than an hour is what I'm getting. And I feel like it's very, like, even though it's the Sun card and the Knight of Cups, it feels really unnatural to me. Especially with the Eight of Swords at the bottom and your Two of Swords at the top. Like, I feel like this is like enforced, or people forcing each other to try to make things work out. I know it's the Sun card, but it just doesn't feel like, it feels like artificial light, if that makes sense. It doesn't really, it has the effect, but it doesn't feel the same. And I feel like people are forcing themselves to get along with each other, which for an hour, that's very good. But like beyond an hour, maybe a day or two, you might want to change the way you handle things. Because it does work out. It's going to work out either way. Alright. I'm going to wrap that up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.